Hello, this is Dustin Draper, talking with the Week 9 discussion from 309 in our book. And so the quote was kind of talking about each employee has human rights to privacy, communications, and private life, which I totally agree with. But then it says, yet if the employee needs a job, perhaps to pay rent, feed her children, maintain a living, geographically, elderly parents, like basically if there's a extenuating circumstance, what length will we go to give up our privacy? As I was reading the text, it seems like a lot of it's very fluid when it comes to this subject, that things are still developing and waiting to be caught up with what we have today as technology in the workplace. Common law does influence the things that we've really had thus far with these previous rulings. I agree particularly with the phone one. There's no real reason for workplaces to have access to your personal phone. I'm sure if they provide the equipment like a company phone, I feel like they do have the right to access that. But I believe there's another ruling that talked about, or maybe is the law with telephone calls, that they have the right to monitor it. Companies do if it's business related, but as soon as they realize that the call is personal, monitoring access must be ceased immediately. I do agree with that. Emails, same thing, especially if it's a work email. I feel like you have your privacy essentially taken away because you should be using it for business purposes. I thought that ruling, when it talked about the nurse and her husband who outside of work and never while they were at work ran a pornographic website, and they got in trouble with that. I feel like that is their own personal private way outside of work, and that it shouldn't affect their current employment. So it's just very interesting because it is so kind of fluid and open right now to interpretation of what the law really should be, what's the limits, what goes back and forth. Honestly, I feel like if it causes no harm to the business itself, then privacy should be upheld no matter what. And so I ultimately agree with most of the standing laws currently right now. I think they've done a pretty good job, and I follow a lot of these at my current workplace as well. So I currently agree with most of these, but it's going to be interesting where it goes in the future.